Hello everybody, this is Marcel Ernie with Ernie Racing News reporting from Kelowna, BC on July 14th, 2022. It has been leaked or published. There is no word on how it came out, but now the news is all over the shooting in Texas. Footage from a hallway camera showing the police not really doing anything for 77 minutes before they finally break open the door, just push through the door and shoot the gunman. And in these 77 minutes from the hallway footage, the police have full tactical gear. They have shields, riot shields, gun shields with tactical full automatic weapons, and they just stand around as they hear gunfire going off in the classroom. One, bam, 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 bam. 4 more people killed probably, possibly. When you hear gunfires in a classroom, and not just one, you can only assume he's shooting at people and not the wall. So any typical citizen, possibly military person, anybody really, if I was in that hallway and I had a firearm and there's somebody shooting kids in a classroom, it's not very hard for me to go like, okay, I'm going to do my best and try to enter the classroom and not get shot and subdue, the person, the terrorist, whatever you want to call it, the crazy person. It brings you back to like, why do schools and why is nobody allowed guns? Like, look, Canada, it's such a restricted license for handguns. But in Texas, there's open carry. But obviously no firearms are allowed on schools. But the bad guys or crazy people, they can get guns and they can take them onto a school. So it's really unfortunate when critical thinking humans who are sane are not allowed to defend themselves and help with a situation, alleviate a situation quickly. Because if just one teacher had a firearm who was sane. So let's watch the footage from the hallway and we'll see what you guys think. You think these cops should be laid off? Should there be an investigation into what happened? Let me read a little outtake. Video taken inside Robb Elementary School puts in full view the bewildering action by law enforcement during the May slaughter of 19 children and 2 teachers, the Uvalde school shooting. Will police face consequences? And so this is actually coming from the Dinosaur Media. Only one officer from the scene of the deadliest school shooting in Texas history is known to be on leave. Authorities have still not released names of the officers who for more than an hour, well, 77 minutes, an hour and 17 minutes, milled in and about the hallways near the adjoining 4th-grade classrooms where the gunman was firing. There's still disagreement about who was in charge of that scene. I guess it's easy to say for anybody. It's like, oh, I would have charged in that room, but honestly, it is. The adrenaline's pumping. You just get the job done. You just run. These are these people. This is what you do. You're trained for this shit. In Texas, of all places. There's also, you got to look at the large picture. Who does this shooting benefit? So don't just think it's just a regular shooting. There always can be more behind the scenes. Instigation. Why did the police do nothing? Why did they wait for so many people to be killed? What was the shooter's premise? What happened behind the scenes? Just always have an open mind, because there is a big narrative going around in the world. And this shooting certainly helps several of those narratives, including our Canada's Trudeau. For more, taking our guns away from the legal gun-carrying citizens who could prevent something like this. But the narrative always swings it around. It's like, we need to remove all the guns because that's going to make a difference. Even though a police chief came on video saying, you know, taking away the guns of Canadians will make no difference. Zero difference. You're only taking it away from the registered owners, citizens. Back to the story. It is unclear whether the actions or the inaction by officers in the school of May 24th will result in more than criticism, even as demands for accountability and anger mount. I've also seen footage of, there was a footage of an officer who was off duty and his own kids were, or his own kid was in the school, and he ran over to the barber shop, borrowed a shotgun from the barber, and then proceeded to go in the school and was not allowed. All the parents, nobody was allowed in the school, just those 17 police officers who did little to nothing for 77 minutes. It's going to come down to what would a reasonable police officer have perceived in that moment, said the Bowling Green State University criminology Philip Stinson.
The small portion of the 77 minutes of the footage Texas lawmakers are currently investigating. Here's a bit of it. Releasing portions showing the school parking lot there, pointing out the gunman in the distance, before showing right there the shooter armed with that AR-15 style rifle entering Robb Elementary. Police can later be seen entering the school, but not the classroom where the gunman is located. And then over the course of the video, officers are seen filing in and out of the frame, but no one enters the classroom or confronts the gunman until more than an hour after the first responders were there.
Even a single officer has the responsibility to go stop the killing, and that did not happen.
There's been no shortage of outrage over the video from inside Robb Elementary School in Uvalde. 7 weeks after that tragedy, we still don't know the answer to one of the biggest questions. Why did police wait nearly 90 minutes to try to stop that gunman?
After the video was released, the Uvalde School District sent a note to parents detailing new security procedures. They're upgrading door locks, installing perimeter fences, and adding security cameras.
The footage from a hallway camera inside the school shows the gunman entering the building with an AR-15 style rifle and includes 9/11 tape of a teacher screaming, "Get down, get in your rooms, get in your rooms." 2 officers approach the classroom minutes after the gunman enters, then run back amid the sounds of gunfire. From there, minutes tick by and more gunshots from the classrooms are heard as additional officers from multiple agencies arrive. More than an hour passes before a team finally advances down the hallway, breaches the classroom, and well, that's not exactly what happened. In the footage, you can see they were advancing down, and then they heard some gunfires, and they all just ran back, essentially retreated back to the next hallway. At that moment, within that 10-minute span, they could have been waiting and then just breached the door, got to the ground, got fire, took position. I mean, this is what you train for. More than a dozen officers, some armed with rifles and bulletproof shields, that's what I was going for, are visible during some points in the video, during the long wait to confront the gunman. One man is in body armor and a vest says that the sheriff squeezes a few pulls of hand sanitizer from a dispenser model. Yeah, you see a guy put some hand sanitizer on his hands. You know, what does that mean? Nothing, but it's something to note. Oh, this is good. It is a starkly different scene than the one described by Republican Governor Greg Abbott the day after shooting, when he praised the swift response and officers who showed amazing courage by running towards gunfire. Yeah, okay, so that's all bullshit. Abbott later said he was given wrong information but did not identify from whom. So he's spewing out fake news, just rhetoric. So in the 2018 shooting at Parkland High School in Florida that killed 17 people, a deputy who knew the gunman was loose but refused to go inside was arrested on criminal charges. Legal experts have called that an extremely rare case of someone who is essentially being charged for not going into harm's way, and have expressed skepticism about the case, which is set for trial in February. Interesting. So the only officer put on leave was Pete Arredondo, the Uvalde School District Police Chief.
Police Chief Pete Arredondo is being placed on administrative leave.
I have to answer to a bunch of bureaucrats up there that haven't been doing their damn job. But that's why we're calling them out today.
Everybody in that hall needs to answer what went on in that hall. Not just Pete Arredondo, not just local Uvalde Police Department.
Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez has filed a lawsuit against DPS requesting 911 audio recordings, police body cameras, and surveillance footage. Coming on a day where state lawmakers also concentrated their attention on another issue.
The yeas are 64.
Where 14 Republican senators have joined Democrats on the nation's most sweeping gun law and safety package in nearly 3 decades.
If this time, after Uvalde, we threw up our hands and said we can't do anything, I just think it would be a crisis of democracy.
The previous benchmark for legislative action on guns was 1994, an assault weapons ban that expired 10 years later. And now we are looking at a situation where there is advancement potentially here, guys. It is not clear, though, how much support we're going to see from the GOP in the House side of things. But one representative who is backing it, Tony Gonzalez.
The officer put on leave was Pete Arredondo, Uvalde School District Police Chief, who also stepped down from his newly won city council seat last month. Disputed state's police characterization that he was in charge of the scene. Oh, this is good. Greg Schaffer, a Dallas-based security consultant and retired member of the FBI's hostage rescue team, said at the very least the officers in the video should switch to a different line of work. Like, seriously, yeah. You guys are, everyone's always like, oh, you got to be brave to do this job, and you put yourself in harm's way. Like, firefighters taking more risks than these guys. Like, they just stand around. It's just kind of, I think everyone in that hallway should reconsider their career choice, he said. If you don't have the courage and the mindset to run towards gunfire as a police officer, then you're in the wrong profession. Yeah, anyways, guys, this is Marcel Ernie with Ernie Racing News. This shit is all over the internet. I wasn't even sure I would be able to post this on CensorTube, but I did some searches on CensorTube, and it's already on there from all the major networks. But, then those guys aren't censored either. They're not censored when they want to say something, and then the little guys are. So we'll see what happens. Cheers.
The amount of time they were in there, and the amount of law enforcement there, and just them not acting. You're there. There's a shooter in the school. There's shots being fired, and you're just standing in the hallway. And there's just no excuse for that.
Okay, let's watch the footage together. I'll throw in a little commentary as we go. I've seen it a couple times. 11:36 a.m. Five shots fired inside the classroom. And they retreat. Now 11:52. Ballistic shields arrive. Police officers with bulletproof vests and shields. Now 12:09. You're just standing around. Now 12:21. 4 more shots fired in the classroom. 4 more people killed. (12:21 p.m.) Okay, now they got some courage to go in. There's all 17 of them. 12:30. Nope, still waiting. Put some hand sanitizer on there. 12:50. Oh my God. And shoot the gunman. So that they could have saved maybe 8 more people. Versus maybe they get shot in their bulletproof vest or their leg, possibly killed one person. It's the duty though, you'd sign up for the job. $12.50, that's it.